Fencing timber is ideal for this project. Just make sure you get permission of whoever owns the fence. I find the easiest way to get the timber is to place it on a brick or maybe a large piece of wood and just hammer the posts off underneath. It should just come away fairly handy. I began the build with the legs. First I squared the end. Then I cut 4 lengths of 610mm. Square off one end on both of the framing posts. Oh, there's the wee blackbird. For the length I just made it as long as the wood would allow me without hitting the rotten bits or the wee nail holes. This happened to be 1510mm, 151cm. Now square off the ends of 4 fencing panels and cut them down to the same length as the frame. Rather than measuring it every time, I just used the template from the very first piece I cut to mark out the rest. Make sure you use the first piece every time, that way if there's slightly inaccuracy, it's always inaccuracy from the original. And this is what one side will look like. All I have to do now is screw the 2 planks in place. I used the carpenter's square just to make sure it was running at right angles and screwed firmly into place. So if you've been following this channel, you realise that my projects take quite a time. They usually span over 3 or 4 days, maybe even 3 or 4 weeks. We're on shifting location today, still working on the planter. The reason I'm on shifting location is there was a bird box just round from where I was working earlier. The blue tits are trying to encourage their chicks to leave the nest today. So I'll just give them a bit of space and I'll move over here. here and do another 5 or 10 minutes work. The reason I only get 5 or 10 minutes work in is because I suffer from ME, and as a result, if I do too much in any one day, I get a flare up and the symptoms get really bad. So on we go. Okay, so the next step was to cut enough boards to do the floor of the bed. I basically cut one piece and used that as my template, and then from that template cut all the rest to the same length. My battery ran out, so I missed a step, but if you look at the section beside me, you'll notice I've attached a piece of fencing frame. This should be just low enough to allow the floorboards to be slid between it and the sideboards. The two end pieces needed a bit cut out so that it could wrap around the leg. I used a piece of scrap timber the same size as the leg to mark this out, then I cut it with the jigsaw. After checking this was the same on the other side, I'd done exactly the same using the original piece as a template. It's time to assemble the parts. I started by pre-drilling pilot holes in the end pieces. After the two end planks were on, I was able to cut a reinforcement bit and place it right down the middle to strengthen it up. I would then add 3 strengthening legs right across the middle. I decided to add 2 more legs, one at either end, just for luck. Good news, the hatchlings have left the nest, which means I can get back round into the shade. I'm now spacing out the planks, just leaving enough room for drainage, and then I'll screw them down. It's a process of boring the pilot holes and then putting the screws in right down along. I've just showed a couple of screws going in here, but you get the idea. Hiya, how's things? Make myself a new bed. Hi. This was where I originally planned to leave it, but whenever you take a look at the bare wood, it looks a bit rough, so I decided to cover it up. And there she is, a planter bed fit for a king. Hi there, just thought I would give a wee afterword. Wondered, anybody noticed the new intro at the beginning of the video? I'm dead chuffed with how that turned out, to be honest. Yeah, so what's it all about? Well, you see the big circular saw in the middle. That's basically saying it's a how-to about woodworking, although there will be other things like electricity. My head's gone, you know, that's the ME speaking. We'll talk more about that in a minute. But yeah, there'll be a few installing the lights and stuff coming up, so there will. But what's this down in the corner? The wee blue ribbon. Well, the blue ribbon basically stands for ME awareness. And that's what I'm also trying to put over in these videos. I'm trying to get through a bit of awareness about what ME is, and hopefully down the line a bit more research will be done towards it and a wee bit more understanding towards it. But basically ME is a neurological disease. There's an amount of symptoms with it. You could fill a book. In fact, many people have filled a book with it. So you've got aches and pains all over your joints and muscles. You have brain fog, which I'm having a bit of at the minute. Basically, you get confused, the wrong words comes out, you find it hard to string sentences together, as you can tell. Also with brain fog, you'll do the silliest things, like you'll go down and make yourself a cup of tea and you'll come back with an empty cup and nothing in it. You can get dizzy spells with it, but to the extent that you can even fall over. So yeah, there's lots and lots of symptoms with it. PEM, post-exertional malaise, which we'll hit on after quite a bit, because after doing the slightest bit of effort, 1 day, 2 days later, boom, it hits you and you basically are sunk. You just fit for nothing, and that can last then for up to 2 or 3 weeks, maybe even longer in some cases. So something to try and avoid if possible. We do that through pacing, so we do. So we know what our bodies can cope with. For me personally, it's 5 to 10 minutes of light activity, hence the reason it takes me so long to do these projects. And if I don't stop then, I keep on pushing, I'm guaranteed to get post-exertional malaise, where I'll just be able to lie in bed and do nothing else for 2-3 weeks until that passes. But there you go. I hope you're enjoying the videos. If you are, hit the subscribe button. Yeah, there'll be many more to come, lots more projects to come, and hope to see you again. Thumbs up.